Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Canto Online Hackathon. This is season 2. I'm Robin. I'm coming to you from the Canto public handle. Really quick, we have this expert panel of judges here, and I'm going to just pass the mic around and let everyone intro themselves. Take this little card off stage and let you guys see everybody. Let's kick off with Ace. You're right next to me. If you could give a quick intro.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are at. I'm Ace. I am based here in Seattle. You got my Mariners hat on today. I am part of the Four Moons team. I kind of act as our CIO, and primary activities we are involved with are we advise a small DeFi fund, and we also run validator infrastructure in the Canto and Osmosis ecosystems. So happy to be here and excited to see what you guys have built.
Awesome, welcome. So nice to have you. We'll move along to the right on my screen. It's Zach.
Good morning. It's your boy Zach Cole coming at you live from Nashville, Tennessee. I am currently the CTO and co-founder of Slingshot. I'm also a contributor to Canto, and I work full-time on DeFi stuff. So pleasure to meet all of you, and thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing all of your submissions. Thank you.
Welcome. Right next to you, we have Sun. If you can give a quick intro.
Guys, my name is Sun, or KB on Telegram. I am also a contributor to Canto, and primarily focused on just trying to figure out where possible integrations and bridges can come into Canto. But yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
I think everybody wants to know when bridges. We'll move along to the right with Brock.
GM. My name is Brock. I am at Nascent, which is a venture firm. We do a lot of investment in DeFi and infrastructure stuff. I am also a co-founder and contributor to Foundry, the Solidity testing framework.
Very cool. Great to have you. I have Maria Shen. If you can intro yourself quickly.
Hey everyone, my name is Maria. I'm one of the investment partners at Electric Capital. We're an early stage crypto focused VC firm. So we invest in seed and Series A.
Cool, welcome. Next to you, I have Sock. Oop, having trouble hearing you. Okay, if you want to try disconnecting or reconnecting, I'll invite you to stage again. In the meantime, let's hear from Scott Lewis.
Hey, I'm Scott. I'm not technically judging, but yeah, I'm a contributor to Canto and like to work on mechanism design.
Welcome, glad to have you. Next to you, I have Brent.
Hey, I'm Brent. Nice to meet you all. I'm just a dog on CT. I don't really do anything other than that. Thanks for having me.
Just a dog. Yeah, you may recognize the Twitter profile with the beautiful white dog. We don't see it here on stage today, but we'll clock that as you. And then Derek Walkush.
Hey everyone, my name is Derek. I'm one of the investment partners on the DeFi team at Variant Fund, which is an early stage VC firm.
Welcome. I'll try again with Sock. If you could do an intro, see if your mic is working. Ah, he's back. Hey, Sock, can you hear?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, hear you.
Oh, good. Yeah, so I'm Sock, super fan of Canto, and I am also one of the co-founders of Code Arena, and big, really very, very, very excited to get to see all the stuff that y'all have been making.
Amazing. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining for the season 2. It should say season 2. Quick typo. So this is the second Canto Online Hackathon for apps infrastructure and original work. Each co-season, we invite builders to launch their project on Canto and access this wonderful panel of DeFi native mentors and judges, and possibly win from 300,000 in Canto prizes. I'll just go over the prizes really quickly. The overall winner will receive 100,000 Canto, and category winners 40,000 Canto. Of course, the categories are ecosystem support, NFTs, games, DeFi, and new things. And maybe of those selections, we'll be able to identify some notable builds that will win a share of 40,000 Canto rewards. So that is it for what the Co is all about. Without further ado, actually, Scott, did you want to say anything, or should I just kick into the videos?
Yeah, just really quick, I want to thank everyone for coming. And this is the second monthly Canto Online Hackathon. If you want to be a part of it next month, just stay tuned. We're gonna have another contest following this one, or another contest for December, ready for this one. And yeah, really happy everyone showed up and everyone that built and got ready for it.
Awesome. So we have, like I said, 14 projects, I believe, today. There were a number that also announced and ran into some last-minute trouble on the submissions. We'll hopefully hear from them in the next month's hackathon. All of the judges have scorecards. They're going to be watching these video presentations. And if a team member is here and wants to provide some more color or answer some questions, I'll be inviting them to stage after the video, and we'll hear from them. So let's get into it without further ado. This first team kind of submitted like not so much a presentation as I'll let it speak for itself. Let's kick off with Leet Swap.
Have a good one.
Okay, pretty Leet. We have here from the team Gil Games. If you could intro yourself and let us know a little bit about your project here.
Yeah, my name is actually pronounced Gilgamesh, but
Oh, sorry.
no one ever
Terrible.
no problem. No one ever gets it right. Anyway, so I am not I'm a dev, but I'm not a dev on this project directly. I was lurking in the chats of the hackathons, and they were looking for someone who had some expertise in tokenomics design, and so I decided to join them. And so we worked on this and to create some kind of DEX interface that would, fill in the gaps that the current solution had on chain, because we believe that there was no unified solution for liquidity management and swapping tokens on the official Canto DEX that were also supporting the zero fee model and the fee on transfer tokens. And we were also planning to add farms on top as a incentivization layer for liquidity providers, since the official Canto DEX has like zero fees. But unfortunately, we could not complete that part of the thing, and so we decided to submit our project anyway, the interface, which we believe is still bringing much value to the ecosystem, because there is no other thing that does the same. Like Forte has that, but it is its own DEX, cannot tap into the Canto DEX liquidity, and things looks good. It's an aggregator, but you cannot really add liquidity for new pairs through the interface, and you cannot they do not have a incentivization layer on top of that. So we are aiming to build that in the coming future.
Cool, thank you. Any feedback or questions from judges?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you describe the mechanism by which you enable fee on transfer tokens?
Yeah, of course. So basically, it's sorry, it's the same as Uniswap, how they're doing it. So what we did, we created our own router for LeetSwap, which basically is a wrapper around the solidly DEX contracts, which is what Canto DEX is using. So what we had to do was to get the get amount out function and use that to calculate the amount out on each step of on each hop of the route for the token swaps, instead of having the doodle get amounts out, which calculates everything without taking into account the fees on each step, right? And so that was missing from the router that the official Canto DEX is using, for example. So we implemented that, and then we had to also implement the other part of the formula, like the get amount in on the front end, so that when you, for example, if you want to swap USDC to ETH and you want to specify the amount out instead of the amount in, you want the reverse. So we had to adapt the interface that we took from Uniswap, because we didn't have time to develop everything from scratch, so we forked that and basically created this wrapper around Uniswap on the interface on the router, and everything connected it together and adding the tokens fees for the tokens. I hope that answers your question.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for answering that.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. We have so many videos to get through, so excellent, excellent video and awesome music too.
Oh, thank you. I actually made that one. Thank you for having me, guys. It's been amazing.
Awesome. Okay, up next, we'll move into Canto Moon.
Hey everyone, it's Wojak here from the Canto Moon team. I'm going to show you guys what we've built so far for the hackathon, along with our future plans for Canto Moon and what we have coming here in the near future. So let me start by telling you guys a little bit about what Canto Moon is. Canto Moon is an ERC20 tax token, meaning every buy and sell is taxed. Currently, 3% of each transaction goes to the liquidity pool and 3% to a developer funding wallet. One of our main goals for Canto Moon is to continue to provide value and benefits to our holders. Over the past week or so, we've built our NFT marketplace from scratch. We did this so users had a place to buy and sell their NFTs. We are planning on releasing ours in the near future and wanted to make sure that when we do, users have a place to actually transact or trade this NFT. As you can see, this is the landing page for our marketplace. Down below, we have a breakdown of our tokenomics. We're going to get a little more into these a little bit later. Currently, the marketplace has a 2.5% royalty. All Canto made from the royalties is used to buy back Canto Moon, which will either be burnt or redistributed back to holders in a form of staking. Over here, you can see our collection page. We plan on adding a search feature as more collections are launched on Canto. You can view all the NFTs listed once you have selected a collection. In this instance, we are going to view the Canto Punks. And once the page populates with all the listed NFTs, you will be able to click on an individual one and either view the traits or purchase it. You can also view some more information such as the owner, the token ID, and the list price. Obviously, if you own this token, you will actually see a transfer button and a list button instead of the buy button. And if the token is listed, you will actually see a delist button. All right, so once we head on over to the wallet page, here you're going to be able to view any NFTs that you hold in your wallet. This current wallet does not have any NFTs, but it does have some Canto Moon, so you do see that. Over here in another tab, I have a larger wallet pulled up. This one happens to be the largest long neck holder. We have this here just to display the collection filters and what it looks like. So obviously you can continue to scroll and you can see everything you have listed. However, it does become a problem once you have a lot of NFTs, especially like someone like this wallet. So we have the collection filters over here to the left. These will allow you to actually choose which ones you want to display. So I'm going to select the Cantos, and now you can just see the Cantos that you own. There's also a number underneath of each collection showing how many you have. So if we want to view the matrix keys, those will display, or the Canto Punks, and you can also select multiple. So if you scroll down here far enough, you will see they're both listed. All right, so that's the basics for our marketplace. Obviously, we plan on adding more features as time goes on, but we just wanted to get something up and running for the hackathon, and that way when we implement our NFTs, users will have a place to trade them. Obviously, we have several plans, one of them being the LP staking incentives and our NFTs. I've got a small diagram here just to kind of help visualize how this will work. So basically, users will be able to stake Canto Moon and Canto liquidity pool tokens to start earning fuel. The fuel will then be used along with some Canto Moon to mint our NFTs. So we will not be making anything from this mint. All the funds will be burnt. So anything used to mint these NFTs is going to go straight to the burn address. This will help decrease the supply of Canto Moon while keeping inflation under control for fuel. So once you got your NFT, you can actually stake it to earn more Canto Moon. Now the Canto Moon being paid out from the NFT staking pool is going to come from the different revenue streams such as the marketplace royalties and the token transfer tax. So obviously we haven't fully ironed out the tokenomics, but we can actually sustain the Canto Moon NFT staking pool without the marketplace if a competitor does come along with lower royalties or no royalties. So the marketplace is really just icing on the cake for us. All right, well, that's all we have today. I appreciate everybody who has watched over this, and I hope to see you in our Telegram.
Amazing, Canto Moon. We have here from the project Down Bad Wojak. How's your mic working?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
There we go.
Cool. Well, any judges have some feedback or questions for Down Bad?
Yeah, so is the lending component primarily for like fungible tokens, or is this an NFT lending protocol? I was a little confused by that particular point.
Oh, yeah, so there's no lending here. What we have here is an ERC20 tax token. So that's the whole base of the project. And then we have on top of that, obviously, our marketplace. From the marketplace, there are royalties, and that all goes back into buying the token and providing it for as rewards for the NFT stakers. So there's quite a few different components going on.
Got it.
As of right now, it's just a marketplace and a token, but we will be implementing liquidity pools, incentives, and
Probably on something
NFTs
like
as
Leap
well.
Swap.
Sorry, what was that?
So your liquidity pools will probably be on something like Leap Swap, which supports
Yes, most likely. Yeah,
Got it.
if they do end up supporting us, yes.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Awesome submission. If there's nothing else from the judges, we'll quickly move on to the next video. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
All right. So next up, we have B-Toad with their Casino-Fi dice game for Canto. I'm going to kick off the video now.
Hello everyone, this is Gamabunta from BetToad, and today I'm here to explain to you about our platform, BetToad Gaming. So to give you a little introduction, we're the first gaming platform on Canto to combine DeFi and casino to create Casino-Fi. And we do this in the way of combining a game with traditional DeFi like staking and LP. So here you can see our main page. You can see our TVL, APR, our rewards for the day, total burned, and the current price of BetTo. So the first thing that you can do when you bring your assets over, you can see that I have Canto, Note, and also BetTo. I would have transferred in Canto and Note. And so I can go to Farm, and currently you can see the total liquidity and APR for each of the assets on BetToad. And you can see that since the user bets against the pot and tries to win more of the pot, we have something called chip, and I'll show you how you can get chip. So right now, I can deposit 100 BetTo and sign. And now I have 10,100 stake in BetTo, and also Note. I can deposit, confirm, and now I have 10,100 stake within the liquidity where I can make bets. So the reason we have chip is because we wanted to combine LP and farming and a way for users to need to buy BetTo. So chip has the highest APR, and the way you mint chips are you go to chip and then you put Note with BetTo, and then you click mint, and you confirm. I'm Apunta from BetToad, and today I'm here to explain to you about. And now you have minted BetToad Gaming. So you can deposit chip. So to give you a little introduction, we're the. And now I have chip within here, and then I'm ready to play with my stake within these liquidities. So I go to dice, and I can click either under or over, and I will go with any of these assets that I have. As an example, I will bet my BetTo. So I'll bet 1,000 BetTo. And since the rate is this, my payout will be this if I win. And I will go over. And now you can see that I have won, and this is my play amount, and this is the total reward for the day, and depending on how much I play during the day, that's how much reward I get for that epoch. When we go to the dashboard, you can see that this is my profile and then my rank. So as the more you play, the more you level up within the experience. And the referrals that I get from other players, I can add them here. And then the people that join through my referral will be added here to another account. And each time they either farm or play a game, I can get referral rewards right here, which I can claim. And now I have claimed my rewards. And this would be my reward from the previous epoch, which I can also claim. And it means that I played that much within BetToad. So all the casino revenue that we get, we buy back BetToad and then burn to increase the profit, increase the price of BetToad.
Very cool. Betode. We have here from the team Gamma Bunta.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Great submission. Do we have any questions from the judges here?
Yeah, how is your randomness generated? I mean, it's essentially like a dice roll, correct?
Yeah, that's a good question. So in the alpha version, currently we're using Chainlink VRF, which is not integrated on Canto. So we deployed a random contract on Polygon and we relayed the result to Canto. But in the future, we'll develop like either Canto implements VRF or we'll make an Oracle DAO like Chainlink, maybe like a random DAO, which other dApps can use, not just on BetToad.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, looks like a lot of fun. Super degen. Love it.
I do see a question from another judge in the chat. DevNex asking, how do you manage secure RNG?
That was pretty much the same question.
Just reading out. Cool. Then it sounds like, yep, you just answered that. Cool. Well, thank you so much for the submission. As I understand it, you have some other Casino 5 games planned for the future.
Yeah. So we definitely want to go with the principle and the culture of Canto in bringing public infrastructure and creativity together. So we hope to bring a lot of traditional DeFi users and a lot of brave souls from other platforms to Canto.
Great work. I just invited DevNec up to stage. I think we're having some joining issues if you can make it. But while we wait for that, I will kick off the next video. Thanks again. This was a great entry. Coming up next, we have Carbon.
Walkthrough for Carbon, which is a package manager for EVM smart contracts. Let's start by deploying a new smart contract, which is going to act as a workspace for all of the packages to be installed in. So we just enter a name and we deploy a new contract here. And once the transaction is approved, you can see the address for the new contract. At this point, it's just an empty contract that doesn't do anything. To add feature to it, I just install one of these predefined packages. For example, this package adds ERC 721 functionality to the contract and turns the contract into a NFT collection. We've built in a very simple dependency management logic, so when you select ERC 721 metadata, it will automatically select ERC 721 base, which is a dependency. Now that the 721 logic has been added, we can copy the contract address and make a request. For example, we can call the name function, which returns a string. But right now it's just an empty string because we haven't configured it yet. To do that, we've built a simple UI on the metadata package. We just type in the name of the NFT and Save. Approve the transaction. Once the transaction is approved, we can come back here and make the same request, and the name has been updated. For NFTs, we may also want to check the total supply of the collection, which returns a integer. But this function doesn't exist yet. To install it, we can install the ERC721 enumerable package. And as always, we approve the transaction. Once the transaction is approved, you can come back here, and as you can see, the total supply is 0. Packages are removed in the same way. You uncheck them, and you click on Update. And as always, you approve the transaction. When the transaction is approved, the total supply function has been removed. In addition to supporting pre-built packages, you can also write custom packages by using our code editor. Carbon comes with a built-in Solidity compiler that runs on the browser, but it's very buggy, so I'm not going to show that right now. Finally, you can renounce your contract so that it's locked and you can no longer make any changes to it. That's it. Thanks for watching.
I see a comment from Ace in the chat that this is very free public infrastructure. Guy, excellent submission. Judges, do we have any feedback or questions for Guy?
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. Do you see a marketplace or other people submitting custom code blocks, and then you can integrate those in the future? Curious what you're thinking about for your roadmap.
Yeah, of course. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, so currently we've built a bunch of predefined ones based off of just standards in the EVM system, but we certainly want to open it up so that communities can submit their own packages so that it essentially becomes a free and open marketplace where people can install all kinds of apps. And one of the cool things about the Diamond architecture is that you don't have to redeploy the packages every time. You can reuse the ones that's already deployed, and all of the states are saved in the main contract. So that's also going to save a ton of gas for the entire community as well.
That's great. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
I have another. Thanks, guys. This is really cool. Any thoughts on how you might indicate to people which of these contracts have been audited as you're looking at it?
So I think one of the cool things about creating a marketplace is we can crowdsource that. But of course, it's important for each submission to be reviewed before making it public, just in case there's any people who are trying to hack or whatever, right? So but I think over time a rating system can be built for each package, and then how trustworthy a submitter for each package can also be established over time.
Great. I think that everyone will stew on some more comments and add them to the chat, but thank you so much. That's excellent.
Thanks.
Okay, next up, we have Uncivil. I'm going to kick off the video now.
My name is Brian, and I am part of Team Ansible. Here at Ansible, our mission is to support proof-of-stake blockchain networks like Canto by providing reliable, safe, and secure open source validator and staking tools. For this hackathon, we built 2 tools, and the first tool I'd like to demo for you today is the Ansible CLI. The first feature we've built into the Ansible CLI is the ability for validator operators to quickly set up monitoring and alerting via PagerDuty for when their validator has missed signing blocks. So what you're looking at here is an SSH terminal. I've SSH'd into my Canto validator, and I've already gone ahead and installed the Ansible binary. So to get started using Ansible, I simply type Ansible init, and it's going to prompt us for 3 pieces of information here. The first bit of information is our PagerDuty service ID. I'm going to go ahead and enter that. The second piece of information is the email address associated with the PagerDuty account. I'm going to go ahead and enter that. And the last piece of information here that we need is the PagerDuty API token. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that. I'll then be prompted to press enter one more time, and it's going to send a test alert to PagerDuty based on the information that we've provided. So the test alert has been sent, and if I switch tabs here and hit refresh, you can see that we have a brand new PagerDuty incident that's been opened based on that test that was just sent. So we know we're wired up correctly. The second command that's available to you with the Ansible CLI is Ansible monitor. Ansible monitor is the command that actually checks whether or not your validator has missed signing any blocks. So we need to set up a cron to run this command at a set interval. I am on a Linux machine, so the quick and easy way for me to do that is via cron tab. So I can open up cron tab here, go all the way down to the bottom, and I can tell it to run the command Ansible monitor every minute. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this, and we're done. Just like that, we have set up monitoring alerting via PagerDuty for our validator. I'm going to hand things over to my teammate Andre to talk about the second piece of open source infrastructure we built as part of the hackathon.
Hi everyone. I'm going to present you 2 infra-related projects for automating cloud deployments of validators, as well as deploying a blockchain explorer on the testnet. Both projects are using Terraform, an infrastructure as code tool to deploy to the Google Cloud Platform. Let's begin with the Canto Block Explorer so we can use it to demo the nodes and validators deployment after. In this case, we'll deploy the Ping Explorer, but an EVM compatible explorer like BlockScout could be handled in a similar fashion. Let's head over to Cloud Run and see that we have no service running. Also, the website is currently down. So let's deploy it. While this is running, we can see that we have a bunch of makefile targets that will facilitate the deployment of the service. We have a target for downloading and extracting the Ping Explorer, one for patching with our permanent nodes, and then building everything in Docker and deploying it to the cloud. It's ready. The service is now available as a Cloud Run function, and then if I refresh, we see the testnet with some validators running. For the last demo, we will deploy 2 Canto archive nodes and 1 validator. The validator is already running, so we don't get slashed, but we'll redeploy it with minimum downtime and also redeploy the archive node from scratch. Let's first go to the Google Cloud Console and see that we have only the validator running. Also, let's go to the Ping Explorer, refresh, and see that the calls to the API, to the REST API endpoint are hanging because the archive node is not available. And let's deploy. When it is running, you see that we again have a few makefile targets to simplify the deployment, but we also have configurable values through Terraform vars. For instance, we can configure the trust height, the persistence peers, and a bunch of other different settings. Now let's wait for the deployment to finish. And it's done. Let's go back to the Google console, refresh, filter by Canto, and we see we have a bunch of services. Also, if we refresh the Ping Explorer, again, we see that the node can be reached, and we see the validator running. Thanks.
Very cool. So we have Andre here on stage under, I guess your handle's anonymous here, but you said Andre in the video. How's your mic going?
I hope good, thanks. I think Brian is on stage too. Good morning, guys.
Hey, yeah, Brian has been off and on stage. We'll see if he can join.
All right.
Great submission. Do judges have any questions? So they may be adding these questions in the chat, but it looks like this is going to be some great resources for validators, much needed early on in the ecosystem. So thank you so much.
Nice, thank you.
Cool. If judges don't have any feedback here, just leave it in the chat and we'll move on to the next video since there's so many. Coming up next, we have Canto Public Messaging.
Welcome to Canto Public Messaging Service, your go-to destination for all things sending on Canto. The goal of CPMS is to be the ultimate hub and a real member of the community. We want users to know they have a safe, easy to interact with website to pass messages to different wallets, transfer assets, get gas, and more. The core product of CPMS is our messaging platform. Select an artistic stamp of your liking and send a postcard to a recipient with a note or to mark a moment in time along the blockchain. Or try the batch send feature that can enable a larger scale of broadcasting postcards for use cases such as invitations, whitelists, a letter intended for many, access pass, or ticketing. And while you're sending notes, you could also check your wallet's personal inbox by clicking connect to see what may have been passed along to you. To kickstart the messaging platform, we plan to airdrop 1 pack of stamps to each wallet of Canto's holders. If your needs are to transfer an asset on Canto, head to the transfer page to easily send your Canto NFTs and assets to a different wallet. Connect, select an item, and designate a recipient, the first and only place on Canto to easily do so. And for those onboarding to try Canto Public for the first time or needing spare gas to fuel a transaction, head to the gas station page to top off. Here, CPMS will offer a public gas station faucet for all, powered by users and coordinated by us. We have seeded the initial gas, and from this point, wallets can interact with the station up to 2 times, once within a 24-hour period. The gas station page will also feature an exclusive mint of our signature NFT, whereas for a price of 50 Canto each, 40 Canto of each mint goes to the public gas station fund to keep supplying others, and 10 Canto goes to CPMS to continue to power the platform overall. To summarize the business of CPMS, the website has 3 ways in which it generates revenue. Messages. Messages are sent for 2 Canto per stamp, plus 1 additional Canto, each additional designated recipient. Asset transfer. Asset transfers are currently set for 3 Canto each transfer. And the gas station NFTs, whereas for 50 Canto each, 40 Canto of each NFT purchase will go back to the public gas station fund and 10 Canto to CPMS to continue to maintain our service. These product ideas and market fits for Canto originate from our active participation in the community. In our short time doing Canto's NFT project, we have been the largest providing public faucet with over 375 bridged, the largest NFT project ever launched on Canto with over 3,100 mints, and have already airdropped an original Gremlin unreleased Tiny Terror Toads to all Canto holders. We want CPMS to be a part of the bones of the Canto ecosystem that users frequent and think when making simple tests, and we'll continue to add features along the way based on feedback and overall needs that can help add value. We hope you enjoyed learning about our project. Thank you, judges.
Very cool. We have CPMS on stage here. I think, as you could see in the chat, that we love the project. The gas donation design, as Maria is saying, is very cool. Awesome public good. Does anyone have any feedback or questions for CPMS here?
I gotta say, I love the branding with the birds, first off, but I guess not to be a party pooper, but how did you prevent people from sibling that faucet there?
Yeah, so how could you guys hear me okay?
Sounds good.
Great. So how we have the gas station set up now is for each wallet that approaches it, you're allowed to get gas 2 times, once within a 24-hour period. So as a user connects and interacts with the wallet, with the gas station, their wallet will be flagged, and then that wallet will only be allowed to interact a certain amount of times, so no one could abuse it.
Cool. I thought this gas donation design was really cool. What are the types of messages you foresee people sending, or what are kind of the biggest use cases you see?
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, CPMS as a concept is just to be like as practical as possible. We wanted to help provide like base layer needs to the network. So whether it's sending a message, sending your assets, or picking up gas to do another transaction you're doing elsewhere within the ecosystem, we want this to be like a place that people frequent and kind of part of the bones of the ecosystem. So the messages could be for a wide variety of uses. If you want to get in touch with a prospective wallet that holds an NFT or is a market participant doing one thing or another, and you want to communicate with them, but you don't know, what person is associated with that wallet, this is an easy way for you to kind of write a message to them, and then your message will appear in that wallet. Or, on a larger scale of sending, if you wanted to send out white lists or invitations, or, a letter intended for many, you could use the batch send feature and send out, the same NFT version of your message out to a number of addresses. And I should note that for every message sent, the text of the message actually gets published to the blockchain, and then an NFT of that message is automatically generated and then designated to whatever particular wallet that you put in there.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Thanks.
Is there a way to connect, each wallet to privately to like a Twitter or an email or Telegram service? Because I know that one of the challenges with on-chain messaging is just people don't check. So have you thought about that?
Yeah, so being that Canto is still in its infancy, like for a marketplace, like if this was on Ethereum, natively OpenSea picks up NFTs that appear in your wallet, and if you're someone that frequents, somewhere like OpenSea, if you're commonly interacting with NFTs, then you would notice it there. Whereas Canto doesn't have that sort of native platform yet that people frequent to where that would appear unbeknownst to you. What we're doing is actually building in an inbox to the CPMS website, whereas you as a user would connect, and it would almost appear like a more so traditional style of a mail inbox, where you could see your messages that your wallet has received, in addition to being able to send new ones. That's really great. It would be awesome to see that inbox hooked up to some additional, even just to have like a, little endpoint that they could push to. Yeah, it's almost like a gallery.
like from a technical standpoint, we have 5 smart contracts that are already in motion. Like even the stamps themselves, like, you know, we envision a whole world that like right now, Anas Abdin, which is a fairly well-known artist, curated the stamp collection for us. And we envision a world at which, you know, maybe there's like unused stamps and a whole secondary market in stamps that people want to buy, sell, trade, and collect. And, you know, we bring in different artists that want to sponsor them, or perhaps you're a project that's new to Canto and, you know, you want to sponsor the stamps, or who knows. So, you know, we're always looking for different little add-ons and future upgrades that, you know, could help add value to it. And, you know, maybe to go as far as like a swap feature eventually, like, you know, if you're sending assets and you're picking up gas, you're sending messages, like maybe there's, you know, an avenue for a future pseudo swap sort of feature to be built in. But for now, our plan is to start with these and, you know, hope to pick up some traction within the community. Again, like a place that people think to complete, you know, easy tasks on Canto, and then, you know, help bring in more stuff along the way.
So one other thing which Submerged kind of raised is, you know, I know one of the things that's the case with Lens is that in order to have someone deposit an NFT in your wallet, you really have to opt into receiving that from that person. And I'm curious if there's any intent to sort of have a green list, where maybe the first time that a message comes through, you've got to opt into receiving or anything like that. Have you given any thought on that front? Just to
That's a great idea. I think, you know, if you get a message from a certain wallet, perhaps you could designate it as spam, so that there's a way that we don't, you know, show that wallet appearing in your inbox gallery anymore. I think, you know, from a technical standpoint, if that NFT is still sent to your address, it would technically still be in your wallet. But I think from, you know, what'll be shown within the inbox, we could probably limit, you know, what'll be designated as spam, so to speak.
Awesome project. And I love all of the artists and just great community work you've been doing. We've seen you very active in the Discord, and of course, looking forward to seeing the design come together for CPMS.
Yeah, that was really, I mean, most of these ideas, truthfully, like the messaging is the core product of CPMS, but every other attribute came from our time and participation in the community. Like for those that don't know, we're the team behind Cantoads. We've now have, you know, over 3,100 mints, which is the largest minted project ever on the network. I've personally provided, you know, around 400 onboarding gas faucets. So, you know, we hope with this system now that could totally be, you know, onboarded to CPMS, where, you know, again, it'll be run by us and fueled by the community. And it's just sort of this hub where it's all things sending on Canto.
Excellent work. We look forward to seeing how this shakes out. It looks great.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next project. We have Canto Shell.
Everyone, so this is a quick look at the current state of Canto Shell. And Canto Shell is it's a command line interface for interacting with contracts on Canto. The basic idea here is that the EVM is actually a fairly primitive computer, and maybe we don't need fancy JavaScript front ends for it. Maybe the right way to interact with it is the way that we did things on primitive computers in the 80s. We type commands, and I think that it's maybe a sort of enjoyable aesthetic of working with blockchains. So I'll show you what Canto Shell does in a second, but first maybe I'll show a little bit of its lineage. So it started as the minting interface for Canto waifus earlier this month. And so this is a very similar website, but it's hardwired to interact with just one contract, which is the Canto waifus NFT. And so, oh, hell up. Maybe you could ask it for help instead of hell up. And then, so you see some commands pop up. And so you can do a couple things here. You can, first of all, connect your wallet by typing connect. And then you can see things like what is the current supply of this NFT. And you could also mint by saying, how many do you want to mint? So I'm going to reject that. Did not mint any. And I want to also point out that the backbone for this, like the way that this terminal works, is actually it's borrowed from this really nice blog post laying out how to implement a sort of CRT style terminal in JavaScript by Edwin Kyle, I think is how you pronounce his name. And so there's this gizmo that he made. And so this should look familiar. I kind of borrowed the scanline interface that he wrote and then started actually imbuing it with some functionality, because everything in his is kind of simulates that you're in some sort of primitive shell. I thought it'd be more fun if you actually were able to do stuff interacting with the network. So looping back onto Canto Shell, so it's a lot like the Canto Waifu's minting interface, but I parameterized all of these commands with the name of an NFT. And so currently, the only NFT it actually supports is Canto Waifus. But if this has any interest from the community, it's really easy to add other NFTs. So you can see the set of contracts it supports. So there's Canto Waifus. And so all of the commands are now parameterized by which contract you want to interact with. Oh, it didn't connect. Right, connect your wallet. Then you can mint yourself a waifu. This NFT, by the way, is a very cool project by XWave, and everyone should check it out. But also, if you have your own contract that you want to add to this, that you want to have commands for, I would love to sort of generalize this into a minting interface for other NFTs in the Canto ecosystem, and also maybe just a more general interface to working with things like the Canto DEX, sending note and Canto between wallets, the Canto name service, like having sort of an easy way to look people up here or send them things. I also have a few contracts I've been working on that are like they're not useful, but they're fun. So I have an on-chain chat application and sort of an on-chain Twitter style feed of little bits of text. And so I'm going to wire those up to here so you can go onto canto.sh and get access to an extremely low throughput primitive form of Twitter, where every time you tweet, you have to pay a little bit of Canto. So it's not going to actually be a replacement for Twitter, but I think it's kind of fun to see, what can you do with blockchain databases, sort of using contracts as just a data store for more general network applications. And I think the answer is that it's very constraining, and that text applications are about as far as you can go, in my opinion. So anyways, that's the stuff that's going to be coming onto canto.sh in the next month, and I'm also really happy to talk to other projects.
Awesome. We have Apley here from the project. If you want to share any extra details, or if any of the judges have some feedback.
Yeah, I think your concept of making it something that anyone can add extensions to would be really rad. I mean, if this was centralized and something that anybody just wanted to join in and add some additional functionality based on launching their own contracts, would be, I think, a lot of fun as just a piece of community infrastructure.
Yeah, the thought that I had was that if everyone integrates with this, and then it's open source so people can audit it and you can run it locally, it's a good way of avoiding front end hacks and things like that as well.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to use it myself.
I just resent the invite to Wayne Apley. We'll see if this one works. I know I used it. I minted a Canto Waifu, and I really love the additional games that you could play on the terminal too. Can't wait to see this one build out. How's that? Try your mic one more time. Audio issues, classic. So any context you could provide in the chat? I see you're already answering a bunch of questions. Yeah, great build. Cool. I will kick it off. We'll go to the next project. Maybe this is appropriate because we're about 1 hour into the judging ceremony, and this one has some very chill music. So enjoy Open Alki. Okay. That's I'm relaxed. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I feel great. That was
Yep.
really, really mentally refreshing.
It really was. I agree.
So cool NFT project and game. I do not see the builder in the chat. If you're here, make yourself known and I'll try to get you up. Oh, it's you see. I see you said that you have a mic problem. So Yano, you could provide some more context, or if any of the judges have questions, you can answer in the chat. But very cool stuff.
I would just love to hear more about like kind of the next phase vision of this. I think it's a really cool like beginning to something is what it feels like.
I feel like I'm stretching my brain on like what elements create what objects. So yeah, it'll be cool. I can't wait to see this one develop further. All right, I'll move along to the next project since we have a tight schedule. There's a bunch left. So this is Canto MiniPent.
Hello, this is a site that we've built for Canto awareness. We've based it on the MiniPent architecture that we've built. So the way we've set this up basically is that you've got an instance of MiniPent. This is running, it's not off a fork. You can have a fork if you like, but the way this works is that you get all the good MiniPent updates that we push automatically, and your data is stored here in a database which your team can download. It means you can own your own data. All the teams got it. We'll give you scripts of how to download this. When you make updates to the site, those all automatically, let's have a quick look in here. I'll go to an article. Yes, I want to leave the page. Here, so in here is where your articles live. And you just change these, save it, and boom, changes are applied here. I'll show you that again in a minute. So we've got everything in one place about Canto. People aren't going to have to go looking all over the show for everything. We've got about, in here we've got your projects with some lovely art here. So people can either click on this one here, go and see a screenshot, launch the app, off they go, woo. Or we can just jump straight to the link for the impatient amongst us. Right, also in here we've got where you can put information for developers. So we've got all the guides of setting up with Canto. You can put stuff in here like jobs as well. We can add another section very easily for you in here. So what have we got? Have a quick look. Yep, so in here is information on how to verify the contracts. There it is there. So we've got docs in here, tokenomics for example, and here's all your articles again with nice pictures that automatically pop in. At the bottom here we've got links to your GitHub, links to your Twitter. Oh, that's going to the wrong place. No, it's just going to be slow. Won't look at that. Yeah, so that's the front end. This basically means that everybody can find everything about you. You can self-manage your content, and you also own your own data. This is kind of the whole point of this, is that, you know, we put this on your URL somewhere so that it's a Canto project and you're not pointing people off to Linktree or third-party websites. So kind of the whole point of this is that, you know, Web3 orgs have a lot of their data scattered all over the place. And this means that you've got control of your data and you own your data. So you're not going to get rugged by Web2 SaaS platforms, basically. Good. I think that's everything. Oh yeah, also, where is it here? Yeah, if you did want to fork this, then that's absolutely cool. In the MiniPent README, we've got all the instructions on how to do it. How to grab your database, work locally, and deploy. So that's up to you. We're happy to run it off MiniPent for you for now. You get all the, as I said, the exciting updates that we make for this. And that's it. I hope you enjoy it.
Very cool. So we have Pentacle here from the project.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Right. So
Great
yeah,
video.
we've slightly cheated. Well, no, I'm just going to admit, well, we haven't really cheated. But if you look at canto.minipent.xyz, you'll see that we've reskinned it since the video, so it's kind of way cooler. We've used our own font as well, not the official one, but we've used Barkley, and it looks really cool. So I don't know, I'll stop rambling. If anyone has any questions, or I could tell you kind of a bit more about why we've built Minipent and where it came from.
I would love to hear the why. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Oh yeah, so why is, so you may or may not have seen pentacle.xyz, which is kind of a knowledge base, which is kind of curated for quality. And a team approached us and said, can we have our own pentacle, please? And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that. So it's built, it's like super early stages. And the whole point of it is kind of like data sovereignty for teams. When I worked in a big DAO, well, when I contributed, I mean, I could sort of tell that there was lots of data scattered everywhere. And I could kind of think that, yeah, there's a point in having your data scattered, but where it is scattered is because lots of people have got stuff on Google Sheets and Docs and HackMD, and you don't own your own data. And so it's canto.minipent.xyz. Yeah. And so we're really at the beginning at the moment, but it's all about owning your own database and having a distributed team so people can pull their database, and it means that, you know, you own it. So if I don't know, if the shit hits the fan and everybody's AWS goes down, you would still have your data on your own database and be able to host it from a solar powered grid somewhere. And also the other point of it was, you know, if teams and Web3 orgs have got their data on Web2 SaaS platforms, you know, what are the legal issues around that? And if you've got a whole bunch of payroll stuff and personal information, where is that actually going? You know, who's seeing that? And so we're sort of slowly starting to just bring this data ownership into, you know, so that teams can actually own their own data. That's basically it. But the other thing is also data management. Like, it's really hard to engage contributors and tell them all the 20,000 Notion links that you've got. So this is just about having one page to say, you know, how to contribute, who to talk to. It's built on a relational data as well. So there's loads of stuff that we can do, like can link projects to people and people to articles. And yeah, it's like super flexible. So yeah, that's it really.
Cool, thank you.
Well, it's very cool. I just took a look at the updated site, and I love the layout and design, and obviously the foundation to the idea is something that's going to serve us all well.
Thank you. Yeah, look at the updated site. It looks much better.
Cool. If any other judges have comments or questions, feel free to throw it in the chat, and we'll look for Pentacle's answer there. So we're getting closer to the end of the judging ceremony. We're gonna move on, and I'm going to play the submission by Bamboo. Here's Bamboo.
Hello, Canto. My name is Yapper. Welcome to Bamboo, one of the first NFT galleries on Canto and now a new provider of NFT developer tooling and infrastructure. I'll touch on the pain points of Canto's current NFT tooling, Bamboo's solution, mechanisms behind Bamboo's infra, and a mini demo of what is possible with Bamboo's project. Currently, NFT developers need to make an efficient request to query NFT-related data on-chain. This places strain on the main Canto or PC endpoints that are also used by other dApps, contracts, etc. Developers need to query this NFT data to provide meaningful info to users and improve the user experience of their dApps. Questions like, which NFT does any given wallet own? Which NFT in the LoneX collection have flaming front? What is the average selling price of LoneX with ninja bodies? Can only be solved by querying data on chain. In the pseudocode below, you can see the kind of effort and logic necessary to procure this kind of data. That's in production across some of Canto's dApps today. Bamboo aims to make it easier to fetch NFT metadata. Bamboo aims to provide subgraphs as an infrastructure service. A subgraph is a mechanism to extract info from a blockchain process, then persisted for easy access later via the GraphQL language. Bamboo hosts its own dedicated RPC node and deploys subgraphs to index NFT-related data off the Canto chain. Currently, Bamboo indexes blocks by data standards with a focus on ERC721s. Support for ERC1155s and ERC20s are works in progress. Below, you can see examples of the GraphQL query structure to retrieve basic NFT information from Bamboo's ERC721 subgraph. Bamboo's infrastructure is composed of three elements: the hosted Canto RPC node, a hosted Dockerized instance of the graph, and subgraphs that are deployed to the hosted instance of the graph. These subgraph deployments currently index ERC721s, but the hope is to work with NFT developers in the Canto ecosystem to specifically index their contracts or assist developers in deploying subgraphs for their own needs. Bamboo's next steps include adding subgraphs to index ERC1155 and ERC20 data standards. It would be cool to create aggregator methods, integrate or allow integrations of multiple RPCs, and enable aggregation of cross-chain data, perhaps something akin to a layer 0 subgraph. Here's a demo using a local deployment of Bamboo's GraphQL Query Explorer. This specific subgraph starts indexing a couple blocks previous to the initial deployment of the LoanX contract. We can see our basic GraphQL query returns info about various ERC721s. We can see data about the Canto OG collection, another collection that seemed to be for testing, and the Canto LoanX contract itself. GraphQL allows you to extend queries to include filtering, sorting, and more functionality. The second basic query shows similar information about ERC721s, but allows you to sort this information by a given metadata. You can see info about the first Canto LoanX minted. This information can be retrieved via just-in-time access for use in dApps or easily aggregated and persisted as best fits the developer's needs. Thank you for viewing Bamboo's hackathon presentation. Bamboo is excited to work with the Canto community.
Amazing. I think we're all reacting to the voiceover. We have Yapper from the project on stage.
All right, could you hear me?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Go ahead, Devnik.
Do you guys have any plans for expanding the aggregate functions, or what you might do next, just in general with this API? Say if you were going to expand it for public access, where would you sort of like what would your next expansive goals be for the aggregate functions that you mentioned?
I think the direct next step would be to make it public deployment, so the GraphQL endpoint is accessible to everyone. And then I'd look into the aggregation steps further after that. I'd say like I'd be most interested in working directly with the other devs for some other projects and just indexing their contracts specifically, because right now we're just indexing the standard data standards like the ERC 721s and such. So those would be my next steps in terms of development.
Awesome. You might want to speak with the Alto dev maybe during the AMA next week too, because I hear they have some good things along with their subgraph as well. So,
got it. Sounds good.
Cool. If anyone else has any other questions, I'm sure they'll be able to throw them in the chat and you can answer there. Excellent video. Good submission.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move along. We have a project called Canto Tools here.
I'm Sebastian. I'm building Canto Tools. Canto Tools is an open source project that gives an overview of the Canto ecosystem, featuring dApps, upcoming events like NFT mints, hackathons, in-person events, product launches, and much more. The goal of Canto Tools is to provide interested peers with an easy access into an overview of the ecosystem, but also giving teams and projects building on Canto a platform where they can display the different social links, data analytics, and more, with minimal development maintenance required. So the way I'll build this is a React app with TypeScript and a Bootstrap as frontend framework. The data on the site is comes from JSON files from the GitHub repository, as you can see here, event categories, events, and projects. We also have visual analytics on the site, on the analytics page, and on projects dashboards. And those visual analytics comes from Dune Analytics. So this queries will be embedded. So the way it works is that people come to the site and will be able to see analytics of the Canto blockchain ecosystem, or they will be able to go to the projects page where they can select a project based on the categories. So they'll go to NFTs and select Alto Market. Alto Market will have a dashboard like any other project on Canto, where you can see a logo, a name, and a description. And then we'll have social links, website, and docs here. And then each project will have all the different Dune queries that they prefer. So that could be like total value locked, it could be floor price, it could be volume traded today. And then people will be able to see those analytics and follow them here. People will also be able to go to the calendar view, where they can filter calendar events based on the types. So it could be hackathons, it could be in-person events, online events, team events. It could also be project launches or airdrops. And in this table, you'll then be able to see the events. You'll be able to view the website of the event. So this is a hackathon event. And they'll be able to see the type and when it starts and when it ends. And then they will also be able to click here and save it to the Google Calendar. We also have links to Canto.io, docs in the Explorer, so people have an easy access into information about the Canto blockchain. So further down the road, we will be we'll have to write a lot of these Dune queries, so we can have some analytics on the Dune blockchain once that's supported. And we also reach out to different projects, so we help them set up their dashboard here. They have the proper links, write some Dune analytics queries for them here, so they can display it to their users. We're also going to create a list of events from the Canto ecosystem. So the upcoming hackathons and whatever events and NFT drops there might be. And the way that works from a product perspective is that they have to go to our GitHub repository, and we have a documentation folder here where they'll be able to see how they can list the project or how they can add events to the calendar. So a project that wants to be listed on Canto Tools, we have to fork the repository and modify the project's JSON file, and add the project, and add their name, description, category, logo, etc. And obviously they also have to add the logo to the projects folder. If someone wants to add an event like a hackathon or an NFT event, they can go to our docs here and also fork the repository and open a pull request and modify the events JSON file here. And once we review the pull request, we then merge it. It will be shown on the side here. So further down the road, some obvious optimizations would be to maybe host the data from the data folder here, so the events and projects on like a decentralized storage like IPFS and stuff. But now it's just in our GitHub repository. So that's what we built for the hackathon, and we look forward for feedback. Thank you.
Cool. Project from Canto Tools. I sent the invite to Canto Tools. They're in the chat, but they may, oh, it looks like they're here now. Let me grab them, see if the mic works. Hey, Canto Tools, can you try your mic?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Great work. Loved the video. Maybe the judges have some questions or feedback.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I've
Just want to say thanks for building this. Oh,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you guys talk.
I was just going to say thanks for building this for the community. It's a great addition. There's no question.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, it's awesome. Sorry, at the end, were you saying you one suggestion I was going to have, but it was unclear if you are planning to do this, but a UI for allowing people to add events, and it's more work for you guys, I guess, but as opposed to having people submit a PR on the GitHub, having a UI for adding a calendar event or something. I love the calendar thing. I think that's really for the community, but just a UI for at least some of these things.
Yeah, totally get you. Yeah, definitely. The reason we do with the PR right now is just to get out fast. We don't have any database running in the background. It's all the data is fetched from the JSON files. So yeah, no question. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it possible for people to just add the events directly from the UI and as well as projects. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. With all of these types of tools for keeping track of projects in the ecosystem, I'm always so curious about how you're going to be vetting, I guess determining which projects are gonna make the cut. Sometimes it's permissionless, so some things sneak through and are a little strange. Do you have anything planned for how you're going to be kind of assessing what's in the ecosystem?
Yeah, I actually talked with Robin about this as well. Right now, it's very grassroots. I just talk to the project directly and kind of hope that it works out now. But I think it depends on where we're going. At least one thing I want to add to the website is to make the visitors aware that the fact that the project are listed on the website doesn't mean that we have vetted their audited the smart contracts and make sure that it's completely safe. So that's one thing I want to add to the website at least, so people are aware of that. And vetting the projects further down the road is something I still have to figure out how to do. But at least making people aware of that they have to do their own research is one thing, and I also do not want to be the single person vetting projects so there can be some conflict of interest. So it's a fine line I have to find, but right now it's pretty grassroots. I still need to figure that out.
Awesome. Yeah, thankfully the Canto community's pretty collaborative and communicative about how projects are looking, and also really curious and able to test things early on. It's always growing pains with the new ecosystem, so glad that you're building this tool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more projects on the queue. I'm going to move along to Canto Crabs with their roulette game.
This is a submission for Canto Crabs. I am the lead dev, the guy that made the website as well as the smart contracts for Canto Crabs. Our vision is a collective of 3,333 most unique and cool NFTs of Canto. We love all things news, blockchains, and neon light, as you can see, and want to be at the forefront of innovations and tell them new tech on Cantos and bring the community along with us on this fascinating journey. Now let me show you a submission for the hackathon, which is our roulette app. So this is the Canto Crabs Casino. We have implemented a roulette-based game that allows players to bet on the outcome of this roulette roulette game, and some nice rewards in return based on the odds of how much likely is the outcome going to happen. The player can select any number that they want to bet on, like say 3, 5, 7, 20, any of those numbers. They can bet according to the row, so any number in this row, like that will be bettable. You can bet on rows, you can bet on columns, you can bet on the second column, the third column, or the first column. You can bet on the likelihood of the number being even, so 2, 6, 8, so on and so forth. Bet on the number being odd. You can bet on the color of said number. You can bet on red, blue. So let us execute a bet, let's say on red. Let's try here. Now our data is being sent to the smart contract and the blockchain for execution, and once the results are going to be calculated, then we'll start spinning. Let us know the result. There we go. Let's see the ribbon or the blues. That's actually lost. Let's try again. Let this time it's bet on blue. So the payout, as we are waiting for our game to become finished. Let's see what happens here first. Let's see if we win or lose. If we lost again, never mind. So as the betting happens, the payout is based on how likely the outcome is. So depending on the outcome, if you won, you then will spin towards the crowd, otherwise the skull will come up. Yeah, I'd say we customized the whole thing based on like Neon and like Casino, as well as the Matrix theme that you see in a lot of Canto projects. Combine these things together along with the red world to create a cohesive experience. We hope you guys try it. We have deployed it on PSC testnet as well as the Canto testnet. And yeah, that's a submission for the Canto Online Hackathon. Thank you very much.
All right. Love the Matrix theme. So the builder from this project isn't here, or at least I can't find them in the chat, but I'm sure they'll be happy to answer any questions after the fact. One thing I love is that you could bet on red or blue, but right now it shows green and green. So I'm sure that'll be worked out. Brent, are you gonna lose all your money on this one too?
Yeah, most likely. Realistically.
Oh, hey, Canto Crabs, I see you in the chat. Let me see, I'll invite you and see if you join really quick. Does anyone have any questions for Canto Crabs?
Quick clarification on the relationship between the NFT and the game. I think I missed that.
Hey, sorry, can you say that again, Ace?
Yeah, sorry, I'm sat in a loud coffee shop. I'm trying to get clarification on the relationship between the NFTs and the actual roulette game. I missed that.
Hey, Canto Crabs, did you hear the question? Might be some audio problems, so you can answer in the chat. But as far as I understand, there is an NFT collection, and then this roulette game is kind of a separate project for the hackathon. But yeah, I'd be curious to know if there's a connection there or if they interact in some way. Looks like they'll be using NFTs as the main center of the casino. Very curious. I think we'll have to wait and see how this one shakes out. Thanks so much, Canto Crabs. It's very cool to see. Oh, NFTs will provide a lower fee for the project. Nice. It's cool to see these casino-fi games coming together. I love for Canto to be a place for experimental, weird games like this. So we'll wait and see. Can't wait for this one. All right, we'll move along. Last but not least, we have one more project in the queue here. This is also an NFT project. Without further ado, this is the Cantillionaires.
Everybody, I'm Karim Bonia, and I'm here to present to you Cantillionaires, a representation of our Web3 society on Canto. This NFT collection features 13 classes of relatable crypto personalities, including DeFi investor, the dev, influencer, dreamer, anon, Web2 CEO, mod, NFT artist, degen trader, NFT noob, scammer, and special one-of-one edition characters. While crypto can sometimes appear as a big scary place, there is a spot for everyone in this harmonious ecosystem. And the goal with the collection is for each person to find something relatable within their Cantillionaire to make it their own. One-of-one characters include Cantillionaire versions of signature characters such as Monopoly Man, He-Man, Ronald McDonald, Thing, Waifu, Reddit collectible avatar Pepe, and a collection of 3 unique versions of what we call Cantillionaire necks to pay homage to the original Canto long necks, to which I and the team all love, own, and support. Needless to say, we wanted to do something different with this collection, something new and unique to Canto that, as it's still fresh with lots of room for exploration and growth as a community. So how did this idea and collection come about? Well, when Larva Labs launched CryptoPunks back in 2017, they envisioned creating an NFT that captured the spirit of the space back then, which was, identifying as the punks of crypto. So 5 years later, here we are. We have crypto Twitter, rugs, pump and dumps, influencers, scammers, and degens everywhere. We also have a fresh canvas with the Canto network, and my vision as an artist was to be inspired by the Canto community and where we are now in the NFT space in general to create this collection. So Cantillionaire's art was 100% inspired by the Canto community, and the project was started after being introduced to the network. So a lot of what has been created on the network thus far has been molded to fit the matrix design of the Canto ethos. And definitely a shout out to all the devs on their amazing work so far. We wanted to experiment with a new idea of what a collectible NFT on Canto could look like. A collection that really signifies the community, with all of its players and personalities. And with that, we want the ethos of the Cantillionaire collection to be around community and the roles we play building, creating, and investing in this ecosystem. We launched the mint for the collection on arguably the worst day of the crypto year on November 8th, 2022, but definitely not as concerned with the market as much as a want for wanting to get these out to the Canto community and attract new eyes to Canto as well. So basically, since Cantillionaire's launch last week, we have added an additional gallery feature. So now you can view the entire minted collection of Cantillionaires, as well as if you go to the gallery section, you can see, if you connect, you should be able to see. So I have one that I've minted on this wallet here. So yeah, these are features that we added since the hackathon started. Looking forward, we will continue to focus on getting the word out about Canto Network and Cantillionaires while listening to the community and implement new upgrades along the way, perhaps some way to chat and communicate, or continue to create memes along the way like we have already done. If you look at our Twitter, we've posted some lots of memes and some of the characters we have here. So Yeah, in closing, while Cantillionaires are really just meant to be an art NFT, like no tokens or staking planned as of yet, we hope that collectors and members of the Cantillionaires community really adopt these NFTs as their digital persona of the network. Yeah, thank you and good luck to all of the other participants of the Canto Online Hackathon.
Very cool. I love the art. We have here Carambonia from the project. Excellent work.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, perfect. And because my video is like stuttering, I see some weird stuff going on here, but yeah, just super stoked. I guess this is very much an art-based NFT project. However, I'm a 3D artist and a pixel artist and an animator, and I love just like vibing off of communities. And I have a history with other NFT collections where adding utility and making spreadsheets for games and all of that stuff. So I'm definitely, I just want to get this into the community's hands. I want people to just kind of like vibe off of the Cantillionaires, and naturally people are going to come in with like, hey, is this going to be a game? Are we going to animate them? Or all of this stuff that we can definitely have a lot of fun with. So yeah, just want to give a shout out to all the other presenters, like super cool projects, and yeah, just happy to be a part of this hackathon.
Just gonna be unoriginal, but say I also really love the art. So thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much. And I guess like the core of like why I came to Canto, I mean, if you guys look at the bottom of your screens here, we got a lot of letters, and like people aren't, there's like no PFPs in here. Like I just want to get whether it's the Cantillionaires bringing new eyes to the space, bringing people over from Ethereum. Yeah, just like I want to see this bottom row just filled with PFPs, and just I think that's what's gonna. Yeah, it's like it's an early network. I think there's so much potential, and that's why I'm here. And yeah, happy to be here, happy to build. Let's like make some art together, come in with ideas, and just make it fun as hell.
Very cool. Yeah, one thing I love about Canto is it's like, as you said in the chat, sky's the limit, not only for like an NFT project, but for the direction of design and artists and collaboration. I mean, so far for Canto, we've seen a lot of different visual elements on display, from emus to matrix themes, now this Monopoly theme, and the pixel art is just really fascinating to watch this come together organically from the community.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for everybody for their support. Thanks.
There's a one question in the chat from Ace about where we can find information on the collection, traits, rarities.
That is a good question. I guess we have, what, we'll probably, that's a good point. We'll put it in the FAQ. We don't want to reveal too much about like how many of certain special traits there are in the collection, because I guess as it gets, if you go to our mint page or the gallery page, you'll see like what's been minted already. So we got lots of cool surprises in there. I think there's a lot of fun. I don't know. I think people are just gonna have fun with whatever they collect in there. There is, we went with kind of like professions in the collection, which is fun because I've seen in the Telegram chat where people are trying to form teams with each other, and I do have this vision of like, you assemble a team to do an NFT project or launch a project on Canto, and you have your developer and you have somebody doing your communications and influencer and somebody who's could be a degen on the project, and these are the professions that we put into the collection. So it'd be like I don't know how it's going to come together, but just having a way for like team members to just like have their Cantillionaires, and then as they form a team or something, you can name it, or I don't know. I think there's something there that with community feedback we can really, just it's basically about building a community and communicating with our NFTs and just having fun with it. So yeah, in terms of rarities and stuff, we'll put a little bit more information to maybe just to give some other ideas and tease some more. If you check our Twitter, I'll post a link to that. You'll kind of get a good sense of like the different professions and certain ones that are more rare. Like the Pepes are a little bit more rare than some of the professions. Yeah, cool. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. I really want to make it about the art as opposed to like, you know, too much about like the rarities and yeah. So anyways, hope that answers the question, but we'll definitely add a little bit more information to the website.
Cool. And maybe an opportunity to collaborate with some of the presenters from today who are kind of building some interesting ways to display those features and keep track of all the projects that are launching. Awesome. Great presentation. Thanks, Karen Bonia.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, judges.
All right, well, that is the entirety of the projects presenting today. Thank you guys so much for joining. I want to thank all of the judges for taking time out of their day to see all these excellent builds. What happens next is we will go through some scoring on our back channels, and we'll come up with some ideas of who is going to win the prizes, and we'll announce that as soon as we have information. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, hopefully as soon as possible, depending on scorecards. Thank you again. Thanks, Maria, Derek, Brock, Sock, Ace, Zach, Sun, Agent, Brent, and DevNeck for taking the time. And thank you to all of the builders for, you know, really delivering. It's a short, it's like a 2 to 3 week hackathon. I know some people joined late and really sprinted. You just did excellent work. I've been hanging out with you for the whole month, and it's been great to see this all come together. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for hosting, Robin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time. Cheers.
This was awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, Robin.
Bye, all.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Robin.
Thanks.